First Wednesday of 2024. We'll say that every day until we get to the second one. Today we're talking about Kain being acquired by NCM, VinFast opening its first dealership, and how the heck do they calculate EV range?
Dude, how did you? What?
I don't know.
The fact that you got that last sentence in there before the drop just literally blew my mind.
Sometimes you just don't think, you just go.
You just go.
Oh man, it feels good. Yesterday felt like not full back to normal, but I feel like
there was
today,
still like an element yesterday of like everybody was kind of waking up from their slumber. You know,
I
like
know
some people were full in, some people weren't fully in, but I feel like today is like, let's go.
We do. Look, we got Adrian, good morning, from LinkedIn. Doug from YouTube. What's up, Doug? Amy, happy 2024.
Yeah, see, everybody's awake. Everybody woke up on Wednesday.
Case in point.
It's a wake up Wednesday.
And hey, hello to the Instagram audience. We forget that Instagram comments aren't automatically pulling into our feed yet. They'll probably have that dialed in soon. Twitter or X, whatever people call it these days, those comments pull in. So if you're watching on there, but just welcome. It's good to be with you today. It's good to be back to normal a little bit. People saying good morning. And we have, let's see, what's the countdown? I updated the countdown in our show notes today. We're going to be
till Wanada.
That's just fun to say. I feel like Elf. That's fun to say. Wanada. Washington Area Auto Dealer Association. We're going to be there for their, what do they call it? Public Policy Day. So they have a long auto show, public policy part.
Official and stuff.
Members of Congress, maybe the Speaker of the House. I don't know who's going to be there.
Maybe we'll wear our fancy shoes for that.
I mean, 100% sure, whatever, and whoever it is, we will certainly be underdressed, even though we will try to dress up
every time. Yes,
but we'll be sharp. Our goal, obviously, to get the most important issues of the industry out into the open, to keep the conversations going, build a community around it so that we can make it better for everyone. That's consumers, that's dealers, that's industry partners, that's OEMs, and on and on and on.
There you go.
So that's 9 days. We'll be there. 28 days to NADA. We know we're going to see so many of you there. We're super pumped. 130 days until ASOTUCON tickets are on sale. Early bird special, ASOTUCON.com. We have obviously everything to announce, but if you were there last year and you kind of trust us a little bit that we're going to put together what is it? We're fourth. Well,
third.
Yeah.
Technically
third ASOTUCON, right? If you trust us,
ASOTU live in-person event, it's hard to really like.
But if you've been there or you've seen it or you feel like you missed out and you trust us a little bit, early bird time is the best time to save a bunch of money on a ticket.
Just get on in. On in. We'll celebrate.
Got some news. This one came across the personal text messages linked into the DMs, but NCM Associates, you all know who they are, right? Behemoth Training, 20 groups, staple of the industry, data, all that good stuff. They have acquired or merged with, however you want to talk about. I think the press release says merged with Louisville-based Kain Automotive, officially the industry's friendliest company.
Literally, I think I was actually telling someone the other day, I was like, I've made people mad. You've made people mad. Some other people in our industry that will go unnamed that are consultants and things like that have probably made a significant part of the industry mad. There's nobody mad at David Kain.
But there is one who has made no one mad.
Nobody mad at David Kain.
And that is David Kain. I wish Michael Cirillo was on the show because he's got the best David Kain impression that I've ever heard in my life.
Yes.
But David Kain, obviously legendary, in my mind, training company, sales, BDC ops, digital marketing, just a very, very tight-knit community. His friends and family event that he has every year is where I've met a bunch of people for the first time. It's actually where I met Jamie Butters for the first time last year. NCM famously started the 20 group, and get this, 1947. And they have been partnering with Kain for the last 15 years. David Kain said about the merger, the opportunity for our company and team to become part of an organization that founded the principles of dealership collaboration and performance benchmarking is rare and one worth taking. We've been fortunate to work with NCM for many years, and I've witnessed firsthand their commitment to our client success. In this new structure of working together daily, we can further drive value to dealership leaders and managers.
It's going to open them wide up. They've already been, like he said, partnered with NCM. They've built out their marketing 20 groups. Recently, they've built out a vendor 20 group. They have done so much in internet and BDC training, which is a place that NCM is probably not the best. They're much more detailed, like from an operations standpoint. And so to bring that into the fold just enhances their ability to create learning across the dealership. And you and I both have a big passion for caring for these internet BDC marketing people. And so I love to see a large training organization, a large data organization like NCM really bringing that under the fold and giving it more legs and more room to breathe.
It's a really great part. A lot of our people moving over there. Fleming Ford moved over there in the last year. David Kane's over. I mean, they're the people to hang out with now. So congratulations to everyone involved in that. We'll probably try to get David onto the show at some point to talk about it. I wanted to try to get him on this morning, but he's on his way to film some his segments for CBT. So, which are also great, by the way.
There you go.
I want to spend more time with David Kain. Speaking of spending some time in person.
Stop. Segue.
Time. VinFast, Vietnamese vehicle makers, opened its first franchised dealership in North Carolina, partnering. Yes. You know, when the smartest move ever. Let's partner. Let's get the dealers involved. Yep. That's why I can have some vote of confidence in VinFast direction. Partnering with the Leith Auto Group. The store is located about 20 miles from the site of their future assembly plant, slated to begin production in 2025. So obviously they have cars that are being made overseas. They'll be made right down the road. Yes. By 2025, Vietnamese EV maker began selling online and through 13 company-owned showrooms in California last year. But through October 23, there have been 218. That's not 1,000. That's whopping 218 VinFast registrations, according to S&P Global.
Just like a note, 218 divided by 13 would mean that all your dealerships failing. So they got some opportunity.
Well, they bellied up to the bar of the dealerships and they said, you know what? We think we have an idea. That is exactly why they got into dealerships, I think. Leith has 37 franchises in the state of North Carolina, representing 24 brands. So obviously very experienced, very far reach. Danny Williams, COO, said the reason VinFast chose them was their proximity to the future plant. Yep. And he quoted, North Carolina's tried to get a manufacturer for decades, and the government really stepped up, helped get it here, and it's going to be great for our economy. This is the first in the initial rollout of 125 VinFast franchise dealerships.
Yeah.
How about that?
Smart. I mean, and I think that keeping it a little bit small to start is going to be really smart. Keeping the location close to the plant where a lot of your executives can help, you can help them understand what goes on in dealership operations, give them a place to land, give the communications an easy way to flow back and forth, like game over game plan. You know, I mean, you just look at when a manufacturer has their corporate offices close to a large percentage of dealers, those dealers always succeed a bit more. You know, they get a lot of the the lease turn-ins and things like that are local. So you get the used, the used inventory quickly into that market. It's a great way to go.
But you also think about like the community power it has when you're opening a bunch of other dealerships in the country, and you can come in, see the plant, and then visit a functioning dealership. Just think of like what that trip looks like if you want to ingratiate someone into the VinFast ecosystem, how you sell, share best practices.
You know what I'm interested in? We got to reach out to Leith because I'm interested to see if they rewrite some of their processes, pay plans, things like that around this new franchise. Right? Like
I have a feeling. I have a feeling it's probably going to go the other way. I think VinFast is going to learn much more from Leith than Leith is going to learn from VinFast.
Interesting.
So yeah, speaking of learning things,
stop. Segue.
How the heck do they calculate the mileage, Kyle?
How do they do it? It's unbelievable. So if you've ever wondered how the EPA gets their official battery ranges, we have too. ARS Technics did a detailed breakdown. Here's the summary. Let me give you the details, and then we can kind of respond to it, and maybe just your mind will be blown, and we'll move on down life's highway. So before they even start testing, the vehicles undergo a 1,000-mile aging process, simulating real-world driving patterns. So they get in that like whatever break-in period that you call it. the testing offers two options: a single cycle test repeating city and highway cycles until the battery is depleted, or a more comprehensive multi-cycle test. The multi-cycle is comprised of the urban dynamometer, dynamometer, actually urban dynamometer driving schedule. So, they had to throw that word, the dynamometer, in there.
That's why they paid so much.
7.45 mile drive at an average speed of 19.59 miles per hour. Don't know how they pulled that off with stationary periods. While the highway fuel economy driving schedule, which is a little bit different, tests higher speeds up to 59.9 miles per hour over 765 seconds. What? The other three tests in the multi-cycle for electric vehicles include high speed and high acceleration driving, an air conditioning's impact assessment on the energy use, a cold test to evaluate performance in cold temperatures, and additional tests to see everything about what it might be in the real world. This is what's crazy. The exact speed required at each section of the test is laid out into a spreadsheet, but it's still controlled by a human driving each car on this thing called the dynamometer.
Okay, so first of all, let me break that down to the layman's terms. They try to make it like you really use the car.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Secondly, I picture like a rally car driver scenario where you have a person in the driver's seat and a person next to them reading a spreadsheet.
Yes.
Like calling out mileages. It's really strange that they human control. I mean, it makes sense that it's human controlled, right? So you get all the variances of what it takes to get there. I don't know. I feel like pretty comfortable with this.
Yeah,
like, I mean,
works,
although like there are
really
different
knows?
Standards. Who really knows, right? There are different standards. I think we all got comfortable with the highway and city, and we all know it's going to be somewhere in between. Do EV ranges have highway and city?
No, they do actually a little bit, because the highway actually drags it a little bit more. And I'm telling you, I've never talked to anyone that has ever gotten the mileage on the car that it says when you get in it, when it's fully charged. Nobody ever in any car. It's like, it just, they can't calculate it. It's tough.
Yeah. I love that. That's our summary. So great job. A lot of science, a lot of nerdery going on, but you'll never get it right. So basically, Nathan's, our producer's, putting in some show notes to give automakers an official range ratings. The two numbers are combined. The city value is weighted at 55% and the highway number at 45%. Okay. A little more science.
It got some science, but it's probably not as technical as the actual computer sitting on those things.
Probably
is
not.
What we're finding out.
I know. And I know it's almost like an oil life gauge. Right. We all know. I mean, like, look, it says one thing, but there's still like this big gap, right? Because if this is the standard, how come Tesla can over-report mileage? Right? Like, because there's been a big conversation around Tesla's mileage is kind of like historically and chronically overstated. And then this happens. So I don't know. What I do know is that with the EV adoption, with all of the progress we're making there, this is going to get dialed in, right?
Yeah.
I think everyone puts a big asterisk next to your mind if you have an EV.
How many miles do you
EV
get?
driver,
don't get anywhere close to the end.
Once you see that, get under 100 miles, everyone gets a little anxious, and we're like, all right, how close to my next charging station is probably how that goes. Just want to wish you a great Wednesday. Wish some more congratulations to the David Kain and NCM team. Whatever you're doing today, make sure you take care of one another, and we will see you here bright and early tomorrow morning.